And what's going on, everyone? My name's Dom. This is Complete and Circuit Podcast, episode 16. We've been doing this for, yes, whoop whoop indeed. We have been doing this now for 4 months. As you know, I got my good friend Joe here.
Hello, guys.
And we have the beautiful, the one and only. So, Joey, how was your week? No, I'm kidding. Hey, we have Erin. She's going to give me a death stare. You have to talk.
I was so ready to say hi to everybody, and then you just kind of killed it.
Anyways,
Right. I could see that enthusiasm, and that was the whole point. I told you.
So ready.
Every week I have to throw you off. Every single week.
Can we get back to business, guys? Seriously.
Yeah, we're going to get... So,
This is
last week...
business,
No,
Joey.
it's not.
Yeah, the business is fun. We're having fun. So, last week we talked about...
Antitrust things.
Yes, that's right.
Antitrust things.
That's right. Should Amazon, Apple, Google, and Facebook be broken up? Have they become too big? Have they become monopolies?
I mean, as we found out just the other day, there's Amazon Studios apparently.
Yeah, they're
There's
doing
Amazon. A lot
Movies.
of
They
things.
just got
Coming to America too, or whatever.
Yeah, with Eddie Murphy for 125 million.
It's crazy.
That makes sense. They have Amazon Prime Video Originals.
Right.
So why would they not have Amazon Studio?
You know, why don't they just do cancer treatments at this point? You know, they basically
because
do
they're
everything.
selfish.
I mean, why? that would be a great thing for
Prime
Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos to race for instead of rocket ships.
You're right.
That would be a
You're
good
right.
race.
100%.
So we had the Apple event this week. They finally did it. They did it. They announced the iPhone 12, and we got another surprise. Yes, they did, Joey.
I never heard of it.
Oh.
So Apple's his company. You know what? I don't care. So the so yeah, we let's go over the stories, and then at the end we got a huge surprise that I'm super excited to reveal. The one news story, we got it up, queued up. It's more of a surprise for you guys because you haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
It's about
So-
the
Yippee!
If you're curious as to
UI
what that,
of something.
I'm gonna
but we
beep
don't
that
know
out.
what.
I'm gonna beep that out because the idea was to sell you guys on it, so that way you have to say it
It's
and
still a
watch and
surprise.
listen. Yeah, but I have to beep out the thing because if they're already familiar with the thing, they're not gonna want to sit and watch and listen to see the thing. Anyway, all right. So starting things off. Do we want to get an iPhone 12 or HomePod first?
Obviously, I'd rather talk about a phone than a speaker.
Hey, that speaker's pretty cool, but okay, let's do iPhone 12 first. Joey, what were your thoughts?
No.
I mean, you wanted to talk about it so bad.
I didn't watch it. No.
I know you watched it.
No, I literally I think I think the whole Apple their whole thing was actually good. I'm gonna take credit, even though there's no proof, that Tim Cook actually listens to us and that he listened to what I had to say and he talked more. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy about that.
You know, maybe all four of the CEOs from the antitrust thing are listening to us. Bezos, right? Tim Cook,
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
They're going for the underdog guys that have no followers really, and they're listening to us.
And they listen to us in private.
But do we have more than 4 listeners?
We are averaging 12 per episode on YouTube.
Oh,
Thank you.
So
everyone.
yes,
welcome,
thank you,
guys.
Thank you.
thank you guys for
And
We
listening.
appreciate it.
We definitely do. Be sure to throw down comments and all that good stuff. And if you haven't left us a review or subscribed, please be sure to do that. It helps the channel out immensely. So back to the iPhone 12.
But no, I thought the thing was actually really good. Of course, there's I do like the look of it. I like how they're going back to the iPhone 4.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I know a lot of people are excited about that look.
I am the one thing that still drives me nuts though is that the screen still has that lip,
The notch?
the notch.
You don't like the notch? You're
Because
anti-notch?
The only reason I don't like it is because, and I get it, you need it, but at this point, I mean, if Samsung can make theirs completely,
Yeah, they have a dot.
yeah, they have like a dot,
the
right?
pinhole dot, yeah,
And so it's like, why can't iPhone do that? I don't understand.
because of the Face ID sensor. Because the Note uses the camera to basically take a picture of your face.
Yeah.
They actually do like 3D mapping and modeling and stuff. So that's why your phone unlocks in the dark. Whereas like the Samsung has to brighten its screen up to get enough light so it
You
can
know what?
see your face.
I'll take if they ever go back with it, like your idea. I'll take that fingerprint thing over the face because I rather have the screen without the notch. I really do.
Yeah, because it's easy now. It's relatively easy to put. The camera is the only problem right now, but excuse me, it's easy to put the speaker in the screen.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about the fingerprint, like Samsung.
They
does.
want to put the fingerprint, and I still think their goal is to make the whole screen be able to so you could put your finger anywhere on the
Right.
screen, and because otherwise you have to be exact.
And I wouldn't be surprised that is because now they made these new iPhones where you can charge. You don't have to worry about specifically putting it somewhere to charge.
Mm-hmm.
So now it can charge anywhere, however you set it down. You know how right now, if you set your phone down, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's even off by a little bit, it's not going to get that
Yeah.
full charge. Now these new phones, the new iPhones, it doesn't have that.
Well, it's MagSafe, so it basically
right, but
lines up.
But they did say in the thing that it can't. You can place it.
Oh, did they?
However, yeah.
Oh, I must have missed that part.
If I'm not mistaken, Aaron, did you hear that too, or am I being mistaken?
Did they put
That they could place at what?
you could place the charger on any, like, if you know how you have to do like point to point for what's it called, charging, the wireless charging, like
Yeah, you have
they
to put
say
it down specifically.
Yeah.
put it anywhere and it'll grab it.
Effectively,
Oh.
it's not necessarily like if you put the very tip of the phone on the charger,
Well,
it's going to
no.
grab it. But if you're close, you don't
I'm
have to
saying-
worry about it because it's going to move into place. Yeah.
What I'm saying is nowadays you have to. Right now you have to put it right here. Right?
Yeah, you have to be very
But
specific.
now if you put the phone, if I'm not mistaken, what they say is if you put it, let's say it's sitting here,
It'll
it's still
grab
going to
it,
give
yeah.
you that
Yeah.
grab.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I'm happy about. And
And I think that's what AirPower was supposed to be out. They did reveal a AirPower like charger. It's like a foldable, because you can now charge your Apple Watch and your thing. I don't know
Yeah.
if we have that.
you know what I really want?
But it's not
Before we go
AirPower, but-
deep into this, the one thing that's been kind of not driving me crazy. It's one of these things I'm questioning. Is I'm seeing some of these YouTubers, and they're kind of like throwing Apple under the bus. Like they're not happy about these phones, and I'm just like,
I'm seeing that a little more and more.
I'm like, but why? And of course, it's my fault because I don't click into the video and watch it. Why they don't like it? But it's like, at this point, why? What is it that you don't like? And I did click on one, and this one guy was saying, well, now they don't include the brick. They include the USB cord, and then he says that's because Apple expects us to have them, but the USB, the charge is a USB-C.
Wait. I missed that too. I thought that was just the Pro. Wait, the base iPhone model doesn't come with the brick, but the cable is only USB Type-C?
Yeah.
What the hell? How did I miss that?
You were on the phone.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Are you serious?
I didn't hear the only reason I found this out is because I ran through a YouTube video today and the guy was reviewing, and the guy was saying it doesn't come with the brick, but it comes with a USB-C cable.
But the phone itself is still Lightning, correct?
Yes.
So it's Lightning to C, but most people don't have those bricks.
I have
Exactly,
a picture of it.
and that's what he was saying. And at
That's
first,
that's bad. No.
at first, what I was thinking is, now that you're freaking out, it's like, yeah, that's true. Most people won't.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's mostly because they have an iPad. But now it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, or last year's iPhone. You have one because your phone, the Max, comes with one from last year. I have one, and Erin got one from her iPad. But I have about 8,000 of those
Which
little
I
white cubes.
just bought.
Right.
My
Yeah.
iPad is
Right.
my other iPad was several years old, and if I hadn't have taken the step and bought a new iPad for the channel that we're doing right now, I wouldn't already
Yeah.
have a brick to charge anything.
That's a great excuse for buying one. But so what I was trying to say is that
Erin's face. That was,
what I was trying to say
he's
though
just
is
jealous.
people,
It's okay.
people that
Right
are
in his face.
people that are getting. Are you guys done?
We're both looking at
perfect. If but it's gonna be a pain in the ass even if you have one now. Okay, so now you have to switch between your iPad and to charge your phone,
yeah.
or vice
That is
versa.
true.
And it's like, okay, that's great. And then, like I said, because I know people are gonna be like, well, I'm confused. What is Joe on? And thing is I'm actually at first I was like, who cares what this guy's making a big deal because we all have and then I'm like, wait a minute, now everyone does have that USB.
You're not
brick.
to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
And-
changes
and
everything.
that guy, and now that I appreciate what that guy was saying.
Yeah.
Um,
And if it were just USB like it used to be, like that would be
It sucks.
kind of
but it's-
annoying, but fine.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I can't tell you
It's a
how
soft
many bricks
transition.
I have, not to mention my computer can charge my phone at that point.
Right.
But my current computer does not have a USB-C.
Your Keurig could frickin' charge a damn. I think even those things come with USB. You get USB ports and basically the standard USB-A ports and basically
so
everything.
They should have waited a few years. Like, I understand they're trying to lower the amount of waste.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
whatever,
I know
but,
exactly why they're doing it. It's the same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I know exactly why they're doing it. It's the same reason, that the same strategy, but with that they did with the AirPods, but with this. Because now it's like, so the year, think about it, right? Back in the iPhone 7. So this year it's iPhone 7, and we're getting rid of the headphone jack. But coincidentally, for $149.99, you can get our just coincidentally introduced headphones that we have that you don't need.
Yeah.
Which haven't been announced yet.
And now look what they did this year. Now here's the MagSafe charger. For the first time, they released their own wireless charger, and then they make it so it's like, okay, we're not going to just cut off the cord yet, so to speak, but it is basically like saying you can go get, because that's a fast charger brick. You can't get those small. You have to get the fast charger one. Those are more expensive to get the USB-C. So it's basically like saying you could spend $30 on the charge brick, or for an extra 20 or 30, whatever you can get the wireless MagSafe one.
Yeah.
And that's getting ready for next year when they get rid of the port entirely.
Yeah. So I don't know how it relates to third-party wireless chargers like we have. I don't know what you would call it.
It still works.
Well,
just not MagSafe.
I mean, with the next thing I was going to say, Apple mentioned something along the lines of their charger is the only one that will work that way.
With the MagSafe stuff.
Yeah, but what if, like, how does that work? Because let's say another company has something that has some type of magnet or charger that is
third
not
party
by a cable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like effectively the same thing, but as third party. How is Apple going to say it only works with our MagSafe? No, how does that work?
It's not so much that it only works with the MagSafe, but I think it's basically like saying, yes, you can get our AirPods, but you could have also gotten any wireless Bluetooth headphones. It's the Apple ecosystem. Mm-hmm. Because with the ecosystem, you get the other stuff. So now it's like, not only is this a wireless Qi charger, which you can go to Target or go to your store, go to Amazon and get, but this one has the MagSafe, licensed and trademarked by Apple. So nobody else can have it unless they pay us a licensing fee. So it's like, in essence, what they're saying is you only get the USB-C cable, so which means you need the more expensive power brick, because it's not the standard little 5-watt one that we have a billion of, which was the argument for getting rid of it in the first place. It's a USB-C, right? So now you got to get that particular charge brick. If I am saying it correctly, they could have made a cheaper USB-C brick, but I believe that's the fast watt, or the high watt fast charger.
I mean, here's the thing. To answer your question, Erin, what they could do, how Apple could make this is like Dom was saying, you could get any kind of headphones right now, right, for your phone.
Yeah.
Any kind of, but the problem is, what's the connectivity going to be like?
Right, you're gonna get the best experience.
How seamless will the connection be?
Right.
So using a third party charger with these new phones, you don't know what kind of, you might be getting a crappy charge. Mm-hmm. Because it's not, because of how Apple designed the phone to be with the specific charger. Yeah. It's going to charge your phone, but it might not be as fast as that one, or it might not be as good, or it might damage your battery.
Or even if you do get as fast of a charge, you're not getting the MagSafe with the special interface, because they made a new interface in the phone for when it's charging on that particular charger.
I mean, here's the thing.
I see.
Apple could have, what Apple should have done, obviously I would say include the charger with all the phones, but fine. Yeah. People that are going with the 12 Pro Max, throw that charger in, the MagSafe charger in then. You know what I mean? They should have done something to entice. Be like, okay, for people that are going to get this model phone for this price, we should throw something in it to entice them to buy it.
I think the Pro does come with the charge brick. I still agree with you, but I do think it comes. Am I correct?
Not the MagSafe.
No, it doesn't come with the MagSafe. I'm agreeing with you. But they do include it with that one, which to your point, yes, they should have, because it's really nothing. You get LiDAR and stainless steel. Yeah. That's all you get.
They're also including and I'm sorry, I didn't think to look this up beforehand, so I don't have it ready, but they are including the earpods in one specific country and I can't remember which one it is. I think it's a European country. And that is only because that country has very specific radiation laws. So they don't allow certain, like anybody under 14 or something, to have a specific radiation. So Apple has to send the wired earpods to that one country. So
interesting. I mean, that's an outlier. That's interesting.
yeah.
The headphones I kind of get. I mean, even with AirPods, or EarPods before they were AirPods, I wasn't really using them, and the one I had would usually last me for a long time.
I mean, here's the thing. What happens if... Why can't... I know I'm going off a little tangent here.
No,
you're
good.
okay.
My question is why couldn't they, in some of these phones, include... How much money would they lose if they just threw in AirPods with a purchase of their new iPhones?
At the
$200 per person?
And I'm not saying...
No, that's not how that works.
But I'm
though.
not saying that there has to be the AirPods Pro. I'm just talking about the generic
The
AirPods,
standard.
Yeah.
It depends on their manufacturing costs. It would depend on
which would
things
be
like
nothing.
shipping.
It'd be
and
nothing. I'm saying to be nothing.
I don't know, because you also have to look at the things like their tolerances and what have you, and how much yield they get per production cycle. So in order to determine like how good they are, chances are they probably cost them. I mean, you could probably find that information. It's probably like $36 to make one of those units, but that's what they would actually lose, because that's what it costs them to manufacture them. Selling them at $200, the rest is profit, but a good chunk of that comes for payroll, shipping, marketing. Most of it goes to R&D, which is what you usually pay for when you buy something like a phone.
I'm just saying, if one of these iPhones that get brought out, whether it be iPhone 13 or whatever, I think for 1 year they should at least include, if not the charger, then something, just to make it that special.
Yeah, I do agree that at least what they should have done this year, if they were going to pull this, then just take the port out now and just give everyone the little wireless MagSafe Qi charger just this year. And then next year, you don't do it.
Yeah.
That's it. You just give them the cable.
Why the Qi charger?
Because, okay, so next year's iPhone's supposedly not going to have a charge port. There's no more lightning port. Right. And I think the idea behind that is to make it more waterproof. So that's why probably next year we're going to see the notch go away with under the screen everything. So it's a completely sealed phone, because I think the phone already goes like 4 meters underwater.
Yes,
It's like something like
that's
12,
what they
13
said.
feet.
6 meters.
6 meters underwater. That is far above and beyond any waterproof. So they're probably trying to go straight up like 100-meter type thing.
Only the Pro.
I doubt of course.
Only the Pro goes 6 meters.
And not
the regular
that you need,
12 does not.
You know, not that you really need to use your phone 6 meters underwater, but I mean, I'm sure there's a use case for it. Or if you drop it, it's going to survive more than likely. But yeah, they're probably going to seal that off, and then now there's no charge port, right? So I think this is in anticipation for that, in essence, to let's get these wireless chargers out now so that people don't complain about it next year, so on and so forth. But I do agree with you that when they make a change like this, that they should include the damn thing that they're making the change for just that 1 year. iPhone 7 should have came with AirPods. That's just my thing. Or at least the big one, like the more expensive one. Like, okay, you just want the basic experience, fine. Here it is. Maybe you don't care about headphones. Maybe you have your own headphones. Here it is. You get the pro level ultra thing. Here's your AirPods. Here's your Qi charger. Whatever. This is my thing.
So, getting off this subject, I am excited for the A14 chip.
Oh yeah, that thing is hella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the A14 Bionic chip is gonna be ridiculous. The speed, and the other thing, I texted you that move with Apple with Verizon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, Erin's very excited. She's a Verizon.
I'm not excited because I would be excited if the discount they were offering was for the Pro version of the phone, but it's just the iPhone 12, of which I do not want anymore after seeing the Pro.
Of course,
so there's nothing for me to be excited about.
They're going to take the cheaper phone and give you a promotion on that. They're not going to want to.
Oh, so you can't get the Pro discounted?
No.
Or at least they didn't advertise it.
Yeah, and they probably would. Yeah.
Maybe they'll announce it
But here's the
sometime,
thing.
but
Is your phone paid off?
almost, but
If
not
you
quite.
pay off your phone, you can turn it in, trade it in, and then you can get your discount that way. I mean, there's different ways you can do it.
Yeah, there's a
around there.
huge difference though, because my last phone was paid off almost. So with Verizon, And maybe not everybody's experience is like this, but mine has always been like, if you want to trade in your phone, you have to finish paying it off.
Correct.
So last time I traded in my phone, I had maybe like $50 left. So I just paid the $50 off. And my monthly bill was still around like $35 for my phone. But I was paying $35 for my new phone.
Oh, yeah.
But with what they advertised, you could get the iPhone 12, which is substantially cheaper. So maybe that's why. But you'd only be paying $15 a month if you trade in your old iPhone.
That's
Right.
like 50 cents a day.
But I mean, at the same time, or you can even do it with Apple.
Yeah.
Trade in your phone with Apple.
Yeah.
You know, there's different things. The thing I've noticed is though, with Apple, their prices on their phones monthly are more expensive than usually if you go through your cell carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do it in 24-month increments.
If you do it at Best Buy,
18.
kind of same thing.
Yeah.
AT&T, their prices are pretty high as well.
They're 24 months as well, I think.
Verizon's 24 months.
Is it 24 months?
Yeah, it's about 2 years.
AT&T's 30.
Oh, AT&T is 30 months.
I will say this, and we're not gonna spend too much time on this because I don't want to talk about carriers, obviously. You go to T-Mobile, their prices on their phones are a lot. For some reason, their monthly is a lot cheaper than anywhere else that you go to. If
I
you
don't think
search.
my team for this guy. I don't remember what it was. Let me check really quick because I haven't gone in there in like months.
So if anyone, that's the thing. If T-Mobile, I don't know about their 5G.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Dom, you have them for 5G. How is it?
I am not a fan of the 5G of this phone, but this is not millimeter wave 5G. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Verizon's got something on everyone though. Is their ultra wide 5G?
yeah,
That ultra wide 5G is very, very interesting to me because I'm wondering what it's going to be like with AT&T and T-Mobile. AT&T, we all know, okay, they own a bunch of towers. They're the number one, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of Verizon runs on AT&T networks. So I wonder if that's the case, would AT&T have that same?
no.
So
Well, there's a bunch of things to that. Go ahead, Erin. I'm sorry.
you bring up a very interesting point
Fact check.
because I don't know if it was the iPhone 12 that changes if you're using 5G or not, or if that was specifically Verizon only uses 5G when you need it.
I think it's
thing?
all phones. It's
Okay.
all carriers. I think it's
Okay.
just built into the phone.
So the interesting thing is, and I don't know all the plans, but right now I'm on a family plan with my family and I pay like my share or whatever. But I noticed, so they decided to upgrade all of our plans. And so they upgraded us to unlimited data. However, I noticed that I only have unlimited data if I'm using 5G. So with the idea that it switches to 5G for some things, but otherwise uses LTE, that means that I'm not getting the full out of my unlimited data.
Yeah, but
because
you don't,
with Verizon, it's only unlimited if it's through 5G.
Yeah, but I do hear that. Oh, that's a tough one.
That's weird. That's really weird.
Are you so wait, you only get unlimited data, but
On my phone.
only when the data is over 5G. So all your 5G data is unlimited.
Yeah. 5G
Oh, that's
data is
weird.
unlimited. Right
I've
now,
never heard of
it
that.
says that my cap is 25 gigabytes a month. And then it has a second thing under it that says 5G unlimited.
What I would do if I were in your shoes, and again, this is just a quick thing. If I were in your shoes, I would get on the phone and probably it'd be the same thing like any other phone. Get 611 for Verizon customer service. Find out what the hell this thing is, because that does not make any sense.
Yeah, and that's also not fair, especially if
No.
they're partnering with iPhone and
'Cause how-
iPhone says we're only going to use 5G when you need it. That means that, okay, let's say I do want to get into phone gaming. That means that I'm going to go through my 4G immediately. And then what? Are you going to kick over to my 5G unlimited, or are you going to make me pay for the extra 4G
Well,
because you don't
okay,
feel like
no,
I need
but
5G
I think
right now?
I think there might be. We don't know exactly the balance as far as how Apple tuned it.
Right.
I'm willing to bet that you'll get things like LTE when you use iMessage, but the second you use FaceTime, the second you use games, the second you try to download something, and immediately switches to 5G. So I think your mundane
That'd be
background
nice.
tasks, things like phone calls, don't really need to go
Yeah.
over 5G because you're
Yeah.
more than likely to lose
Yeah.
your phone calls over
Yeah.
5G. Matter of fact, yeah. So I would
When
imagine.
you do your gaming, that's when it's going to kick in
Yeah,
5G.
that's my guess.
Hopefully.
But the thing of it is,
no,
too,
that's how that's how the Apple event said.
Yeah, no.
Because they said in certain things that you'll use on the phone, like Dom was saying, messaging, stuff like that, it'll stay in LTE.
yeah,
Once you start your gaming and the things that use a lot of data, it'll kick in the
streaming, all that
5G.
other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's only a few major cities that even have 5G right now. So I'm as what Erin was saying, I do find it interesting that they paired up with Verizon, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like, fine, iPhone can do millimeter band 5G, fine. But there's only like, a relatively small part of the population that can do it. So if Verizon is saying when you're 5G, it's unlimited, but if you live in,
Omaha, Nebraska.
yeah, or Idaho,
Yeah.
or I don't know what the Idaho 5G spectrum looks like, range coverage looks like right now. So apologies for any Idahoan
It's right,
listeners.
it's right here. There's not a lot. There's
Okay.
not a lot of coverage in Idaho at all, apparently.
There's a lot more 5G than I thought, though.
The simple
I'm sorry,
thing
Idaho.
is, so this way we can keep moving. Aaron, just get on the phone with them, 611 them, and ask them and figure this out. It might be a thing on their end that they messed up on. Maybe they didn't see it,
Could be a weird setting, yeah.
or it could be just that you caught something that they've been scamming customers.
Yeah.
So that could be
something's
a
off.
big thing. So I would just call them.
Especially when the 5G that they would have, because now phones are starting to roll out millimeter wave, but she's had this thing for a while. But if you had this thing on, if this was the same rules, the Note 10 on the Verizon network like last year, and it had those rules, this 5G sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it does. LTE, I've seen crank out more. Now again, it's all new, so I get it. I got to iron the bugs out. And
but
what
at
have
the
you.
same time, you have T-Mobile. I have AT&T. AT&T's 5G is not great either. Well, I don't know how.
Right. It could be the phone.
I don't know how Verizon's 5G.
But see, I don't think it's an issue. I think it's an issue of the 5G.
The phone is getting. Yeah.
I think it's the issue of the 5G because it's not millimeter wave. Because you're not going to get gigabit speed on non-millimeter wave.
Well, they also said during the event that, and maybe I misunderstood what they were saying, but it sounded like the Verizon guy said, we are officially
hear me now?
launching our 5G at the Apple event. And I've had that unlimited data except for 5G thing for about 3 months now. So maybe I just misunderstood, but it really sounded as though he said we are fully.
They're millimeter wave 5G. 5G has like two packages basically.
So what's the difference?
So basically, one uses a very tiny 60 gigahertz like wavelength, so it's very small, so you can get a lot of data very very fast. But the problem is that basically anything can get in the way of it, and so it nukes the signal out. And then you have like the wide band, the wider wavelength stuff, which is in essence is easier for it to go through walls, but you can't move as much data through. So that's why they need to have so many 5G towers all over the place. Like literally, like they're like going to be like the Starbucks of cell phones, cell phone towers. They're going to be everywhere.
That's funny.
Like 3 per corner. I'm not even joking.
Dom,
You need basically line of sight?
Did you fact check me on that?
So I looked it up, and apparently Verizon's like switched. Hold on 1 second here.
Actually, Aaron, I got good news for you.
What?
The iPhone 12 Pro at Verizon up to $800 off.
Oh.
If you go on, I'm on their website right now.
But is that if you get a new line
It is
and you bring your old line with you, or
now when you hold on. Let me just finish this before you say. Now when you switch with select trade-in and select unlimited plans.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that Aaron can't get it. I would call him and find out.
You might as well.
Yeah. There's no harm done.
Now AT&T's got something going on, and I know we shouldn't be talking so much about carriers, but for people that are listening, they might want to know. AT&T is doing something that's I think is really nice. They are doing for new customers and existing customers. So they're treating the existing customers the same way that they're going to do for the new ones. Granted, it's not the Pro, but it's the new and existing customers get iPhone 12 on us.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
For who?
AT&T.
New
Well,
and
he's
It's-
been interested in 18.
So it's not 12, but it's not the Pro. It's just the 12.
right. We gotta
Yeah.
wait until November 6th or whatever it is for
Yeah.
the Pro pre-orders, which is That, you know what? That's good. Right now, things are between the Xboxes and the PlayStations.
There's a lot of things.
That's too much to hit. To be honest
Yeah.
with
A
you,
lot of money.
yeah.
that's
A lot of money.
I mean, here's the thing. Like I was saying the last time.
$2,500.
I mean, the
You
last
get
time.
everything.
This is what I said when we talked. It's a lot of money up front, but with phone carriers, a lot of people are going to be on that thing where you pay your phone monthly.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to buy the phones out.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to still be. It's not like they're going to dish out thousands and thousands of dollars up
Yeah.
front. They'll pay it. They'll dish out maybe $100 or $200,
Yeah.
and then they got the phone and they pay it for monthly. It's
and then,
fine.
And then you're
Yeah.
good to go.
So what do you guys think about the iPhone mini being $699 and the iPhone 12 being $799 then?
I think those price points are perfect. I think they're finally starting to just put a ridge between the Pro phone and the standard phone, because most people don't need the Pro phone. Like, I get it. I'm going to get the Pro phone. I can use the Pro phone for a lot of the camera features that it has, but actually use it. But even then, it's kind of like, like...
You and I don't need it, but we just like it.
Right.
We like it, because I like it because it's Pro.
Well, if it shoots...
And it's got this...
it's Pro,
and I also like the size.
Yes. So the size, and that's the thing. They need to make then a standard iPhone Max.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's your Pro models, here's your thing. Because you can have those people that need a bigger phone or want a bigger phone.
And mark that and put that at $899.
Yeah, exactly. Just $100 more, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like that. I am happy that the base storage for the Pro is 128, so no more 64 gig nonsense. That was a good move.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah.
The Mini, you got what you're asking for, although it doesn't have the third camera, but it's perfect Erin size.
It is perfect Erin size, and I absolutely love the green that we have here, and I would 100% get it. However, it does not compare to the Pro in looks. The Pro has the shiny sides where
Stainless
this
steel.
looks like the kind of like matte aluminum.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, I would effectively be paying for a smaller version of my phone. And if I buy a new phone, I want an upgrade to a phone. And I have yet to really have the wide lens. And you know how much I love to take pictures. I would love the wide lens. So
I got nothing.
No.
You're just looking at me. I was like,
if I could put the Pro iPhone, and I know that you can't really do that because you need the space for the cameras and stuff like that. Like it may just not be possible at this point on a hardware level. But if you could put the Pro phone into the size of the iPhone mini, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
I see. They can. They can.
You think so?
They can. Absolutely. Absolutely they can.
Why do you think they don't then?
Money?
Because it would cost them too much?
No.
or-
Meaning...
because you want something, and so now you're willing to spend possibly up to almost $1,000, well, not
Yep.
$1,000, but like $500 more
Yep.
to get this one thing.
Because if you can...
So why not do it then?
But here's the thing. Why would
Because
someone want to
they're going to get $500 more from you.
Yeah.
The demand is that you want this one thing, and you're willing to spend more, but it doesn't cost them that much.
Yeah.
It'll cost them
So
more.
it makes them money.
No, but what
No.
you don't understand is they're going to lose money because if... let's say...
My watch is telling me to breathe.
if they come out with a Pro version of a Mini,
Yeah.
you think I want a Pro version, a Mini Pro?
You wouldn't. No.
Do you think
Right.
Dom does? No,
But
what I'm
it's-
saying
No.
is...
But I know a lot of the females with smaller pockets
but it's
probably would.
It's supply and demand,
Not
right?
all of them.
Let's say Apple spent another, let's say, just to shoot out numbers, another $100 million to R&D. That camera probably wouldn't cost that much, but fine. We'll say $1 million. Let's say they pump another $1 million to R&D that camera into the iPhone Mini, right? Because it's a different build, it's a different model. You have to test it and do all your stuff like that. Fine, they do that. So then what are they going to do? So they're going to charge an extra $100 for that version. So you have iPhone 12, an iPhone 12 Mini, and iPhone 12 Pro Mini, or iPhone 12 Pro Mini, whatever you want to call it, with all these stupid names, right? But all they're going to make from you is $100 more. But you're willing to pay $500 more. So there's no reason for them to do it. If you want that camera, you have to spend $500 more.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't. Then there's no R&D costs on them, as far as like accommodating your needs. This is basic economics.
Yeah.
But she's still doing that confused
No,
face. Like,
here's a perfect example. Or no, not actually.
did that just go completely over your head? Did none of that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. I just want to hear your thoughts.
My thoughts on what?
On the iPhone 12. Like, what do you guys think?
I think the other thing too is they don't do that because it's like, here, I'm going to use your analogy.
Well, let's make sure we answer Aaron's question too, because it just kind of sounded like you just skipped right over the question.
Kind of back. It's not skipping. It's going back.
Okay. No, I just want to make sure. Yeah. No.
Her previous question of.
I got you.
Another analogy that Dom usually uses why they don't do it. I would say it's like you buy a Audi, but yet a Jetta has the same engine as the Audi that you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you get an iPhone, let's say the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and then you have an iPhone 12 Mini, you're gonna have people be like, "Well, what the hell? What's the difference?"
Oh, and there's the reverse side too of it. He's basically saying, what's the point of getting the Pro if the Mini non-Pro has the exact same things as the Pro? I believe that's the correlation you were trying to make.
Well, no, I was just saying if you have the Mini Pro and an iPhone 12 Max Pro, it's like, what's so great about this?
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's all about, it's like, I can get this miniature thing and it's as good as this thing.
It's not as black and white, but I do hear how they compare. To answer your question, as far as the phone on its own goes, I am. Oh, did we get a comment? We got a comment on. We got a comment. Somebody commented. What do we get? It doesn't matter. I'll look at that later. So
no, look at it now.
Let's see. Yeah,
look at it now.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for not laughing at me like some people do. No, I'm actually, so all things considered, I am disappointed that we did not get promotion.
That's because of COVID.
I know, but it's still, I'm still disappointed in that.
But that's not Apple.
I'm disappointed that we did. You know what though? They've been flaking on the promotion thing. They should have put promotion in the 11 Pro.
You're absolutely right. But I'm just saying this time it's not Apple.
I'm not saying whether it is or isn't. I'm still disappointed by the fact that it's not there. I'm disappointed in that we didn't get the in-screen Touch ID. But I am incredibly happy we did get 5G, which I think is super awesome. They found a great way to execute 5G. We got a few more colors, and they went back to the form factor that I have never seen any iPhone person ever say that was not their favorite. The iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5's form factor was great. It was perfect. And then when they went to the 6, it was this weird round thing, and that's Johnny Ive doing that, from what I understand.
You know what this does? Brings back. It kind of makes like Steve Jobs is alive again.
A little tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, he would have made sure promotions in that phone.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying, having that feeling of that phone, and plus the other thing is when you hold that phone, holding that phone is going to be nice compared to what we have now.
Yeah, I think it's going to feel really, really good in the really good in the hands.
What I wish they did do is one thing I'm jealous about the Mini is that black color. The Mini.
Yeah.
I wish that black color was on the Pro Max.
So that looks like so the Pros have the matte glass.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a slightly more, but it's gonna look darker in person, I assure you.
Wait.
Yeah. And it's nice the gold is actually gold this time too.
Yes.
It's not pink.
Are these the Pro Maxes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that black.
Yeah.
I saw something like.
Then you saw blue.
These are
it was a lighter
because
when I looked with you,
it was lighter, but
that's
just those are renders. Those aren't actually they didn't actually take an iPhone and take a picture of it. They have a 3D modeler that they can just render pictures of. That's probably what that is too. Just a rendered 3D model.
Yeah, but it's from Apple's event, so I'm sure it's very close to.
I would hope
color.
that I really want. That's what I want is a dark black.
The iPhone 7.
Yeah.
The piano black one was probably the darkest iPhone, or the iPhone 4. So you just want, you want the shiny, you want the iPhone 10s.
I want my iPhone to look just like grim, mean.
You want the spawn of.
I want the spawn.
The venom of. Yeah.
Satan of iPhones.
There you go. There's I do like the blue. I would probably do the blue.
I knew you would.
Honestly, because it's not like an in-your-face blue.
No, but it's different.
And it is different. It is different. You know what? I did black phones and white phones I only did one white phone, actually, one white iPhone. I did all the other ones black. I'm happy that they're finally introducing new colors without going crazy with it, at least on the Pro line. It's sort of like,
I can't see it.
This one color, of course, you can't. We talked about before. Joe is colorblind. Which I found out recently, a little pseudo side note. So Aaron's been playing that game called Among Us a whole bunch. And apparently you would not like that game very very much because you won't be able to tell who murdered you. Erin, you know what I mean?
I do.
That
How does that?
No, we're just talking about colors and his
see,
color
guys,
blindness. Anyway,
Dom laughs at my disability.
only the one. So
They're trying to fix that, Joey. They're trying to make
Yeah.
it more colorblind friendly.
they're gonna put a patch in, and then we're gonna start playing.
It's not like I'm gonna play it.
Oh, you're gonna play it.
Keep going.
Anyway, yeah, no, I like the color. I love the fact that they have a kind of a consistent design language now, as far as the Apple Watch, where you have the stainless steel and the aluminum version, and then you can get the same kind of, materials on the iPhone. I really like that. And like I said, the blue is nice. I like that each iPhone generation, I really hope that each one has its own special color, right? They have the standard, you have your white, you have your black, you have your goldish, pinkish, whatever you want to call it. And then you have just this one unique for that generation, that year color. It's just, I don't know. I like that. I like the idea of it just being, this is your one chance to kind of experience it.
I want rainbow.
And Joey, I bet you do, because you can't see. I'm sorry.
There we go.
That was mean.
Number 2 on dissing my disability.
You know what? They're not swears. How many times I've had to beep you? I had to beep out huge chunks of things you were saying last time. Talking about the thing. Exactly. Anyway.
.com.
See? Erin, put a marker down. See? You gotta beep that. So I'm thinking we should probably take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about HomePod, which I'm more excited about the HomePod Mini
Oh yeah, I am too.
than the iPhone, if I'm being honest.
I'm super excited.
Red Robin. Yum.
Okay, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
Raw.
Yes, speaking of raw, Erin, you had a couple questions for us pertaining to because we didn't talk about before. So before we get to the HomePod Mini stuff, there was like a whole offset of things that we forgot to discuss, and this might be just the like in me, but I like the whole camera thing. There's a huge focus on cameras, but they did add some pretty cool stuff to the camera systems.
So, how do you guys feel about their LiDAR? Everybody knew it was coming. It was pretty rock solid that it was going to happen. But how did you feel about them announcing it, how they announced it, the fact that it is actually there? How beneficial do you feel it will be to either of you?
Oh, I think when it comes to doing the AR stuff, I think when it comes to using the Measure app, which I think is a great idea, the idea that you don't even need a measuring tape anymore, you can just, you can just aim your phone, pick 2 points, boom, you have the exact measurement, which will be more accurate with LiDAR. I think that if, like we talked about, I think it was last week, if Apple does make a car, self-driving cars require LiDAR, or they use LiDAR to help kind of identify things around them. So this could be a way for them to start collecting data as far as using LiDAR effectively goes. I think for their weird fake depth of field thing they use, I think that's going to be an effective use of that as well. I'm more curious about how the apps are going to use it than anything else.
Well, Snapchat's going to use it all day long.
Oh yeah, they're going to be putting all kinds of faces on you. It's just, it's going to be. Otherwise, they added RAW. They added Apple Pro RAW. I wish they would add Apple Pro Res to the video recording capabilities. It'll probably be next year's phone, because that would save me a hell of a lot of time converting these to ProRes if it was just done. Mind you, that might not be possible because a 4K ProRes is like some ridiculous size.
The phone probably doesn't have enough storage for that.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't be able to get away with that. But the Pro RAW stuff is kind of nice. It's not real RAW as long as Photoshop treats it like RAW. I think it's fine. What do you get? Yeah. We got some more HDR stuff, some more smart filtering stuff. Honestly, like, until they can make a lens that is smudge resistant, I really don't see the point of this for the average consumer, because I still see time and time again from the average like picture on Facebook and what have you, this smudgy, crappy looking picture that somebody took. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how this plays out, because RAW is incredibly beneficial for people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, it is.
And with
nothing. Okay.
With iPhones being
I'm sorry.
phones in general, really. With phones being so easy to carry around in your pocket, you always have them. You know, you text with them. They're effectively people's lifelines nowadays. So you almost always have your phone with you. But to the average photographer, like, you don't typically run to the grocery store with your DSLR just on your hip. Like, I do know people who do that, but I would say the average photographer isn't going to take their giant camera with them to go buy some creamer at the grocery store or whatever. But there are so many moments that you find yourself in life as a photographer where you're like, I wasn't planning for this, but this is beautiful and I just have to take a photo of it. And having the ability to edit in RAW in those moments where you don't have your DSLR available, you're just like living life as it is, and you just want to capture that moment. If they do it right, I can see it being a huge game changer, because there are so many photographers nowadays too who believe that, you know, yes, your DSLR is always going to capture the best photo, but the iPhone is not far off with how they do things. Like, there is a huge difference in quality if you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for and you want this particular outcome, and your phone can't necessarily always give that to you. But I'm very interested to see, because effectively during the show what they said was, we know you guys want RAW, so we're going to give you RAW, but we also highly believe in our software and how we do things. And so we're not going to just not do our software part and just give you RAW. We're still going to put our software enhancing in the photos no matter what.
Right.
And so they're trying to do this weird thing where they add...
It's like pre-Photoshop RAW.
Yeah, they add their software that says, okay, I recognize this is a face. Let me make this a little bit brighter, but let me also add RAW to it. I think that it's going to do either really incredibly well or it's going to fail.
I don't think it's going to fail, and I don't think it's going to be not used. Like I hear the point when it comes to, like, you want a really good camera. You know, if you're out and about, you just don't have your camera on, you want to be able to take a good shot. But like, at some point, there's going to be a camera that the iPhone does, or any phone, where it's like, it's good enough. And my question to you is, like, you know, you clearly have I know that you have a very deep passion for taking good pictures and cameras. So that's the photographer in you, which is wonderful, and you take some beautiful pictures. But like, there's so much focus on the camera that it seems as though there are times where the rest of the phone, because it is a phone, mind you, it does 1.5 billion other things, kind of get offset. So my question is, like, at what point would even you say, all right, stop focusing on the camera, it's good enough?
I mean, that's a tough one.
Because there has to be a point. There has to be, I would assume there would be.
And I do. So I don't really know how to answer that in, like, simply, because I think that they have already reached the point where they need to stop focusing on the camera so much. The phone itself has not developed enough. We need to continue to develop the phone and the things that it can do. Mm-hmm. You know, I do love Apple, but I started off with an Android, and I loved the customization features of the Android. I loved the fact that I could change the font of anything I wanted. I loved that I could put the apps wherever I wanted. Like, I absolutely loved my Droid. Mm-hmm. It was a Droid. was the phone.
It was literally
It was a Droid. But I loved that, and I was kind of hesitant to move over to iPhone, but then I moved over to iPhone, and it integrates with everything, and I love it so much. And so, like, I'm kind of in this weird position where I don't think I'm going to move off of iPhone at this point because everything else is Apple. And I do wish that they would continue to develop the phone, but loving photography as much as I do, the camera means probably too much to me in the world of tech, because I could just take my DSLR with me. You know, I
but that's inconvenient. That defeats the purpose of having a really good camera in the thing. It is.
And that's part of the reason I love the fact that they keep upping the camera. Right. But the raw, if I had to say it, like the majority, and there are a lot of social media people nowadays, there are a lot of people who love to take beautiful photos, stuff like that. So like photography is becoming a little more common than it used to be. But I still feel like if you're going to develop a phone, you should probably focus on the phone first.
Or at least some other aspects of it. As far as the raw thing, I don't see why there's any reason why the 11 Pro Max can't do raw. That's a software thing. The sensor is the sensor. It's not a hardware thing. It is something that, okay, the sensor is giving me this data.
Mm-hmm. The person, and you're taking it for full.
And you're taking it, yes. You're taking, there's a bunch of, there's a bunch of other data that comes along with it, but yes. Yeah. And so that's not something I can say is like when it comes to like a software feature, like the iPhone 4S, they didn't really do anything special with it. They just added Siri.
Yeah.
Now there was a tier of phone. That was when they did the 4, then the 4S, and the 5, then the 5S, and the 6, and the 6S. The S was supposed to be a minor kind of update where it is, nothing physical. That's how it used to be back in the Steve Jobs era. Mm-hmm. And it was here's a cool software feature, maybe some minor hardware tweaks. This phone feels like the 11 Pro Max S, which is it's already too many words, and now it just feels like that. So, but that's what it feels like to me. But they just changed the body shape, and they gave ProRes and or Pro Raw and LiDAR.
Yeah,
which is tiny. Where's the big thing?
And I did want to say this real quick before we jump.
Yeah.
Topics. The most interesting thing to me that I'm looking forward to seeing with the ProRes Raw or Apple Pro Raw or whatever it is I'm really curious to see what that photo looks like, because when you take a real raw photo, it's not publishable.
No.
It's very flat.
Yeah.
It's very
it's very neutral.
Yeah.
It's very neutral.
And so I'm very curious to see, because it depends on
that's what I mean.
Who they're...
Will Photoshop treat it as a raw?
No, Photoshop will not.
They said that?
Mm-hmm.
Then,
it's not considered a raw photo in that sense.
Then
but it has the same capabilities of editing that a raw photo would.
But Photoshop won't open up the raw editor thing when you bring it into Photoshop.
It's not a raw photo.
But that doesn't answer the question. Just because it's not a raw, if it's a type of raw.
No, it will not be treated as raw per what I understood.
But then it's effectively just a really good JPEG.
I could be wrong, but the way that I understood it from the event was that it will not be treated as a pure raw photo.
We'll have to.
But they are implementing, they did say that they are going to add this format to a lot of products. So I'm assuming that Adobe's going to get it really soon.
Yeah.
So they're going to be able to read it and understand it, but it won't be true raw.
And that still just sounds like a glorified, because the whole point of a raw is that you can change everything after snapping it. If you don't get that, at least half of that stuff, changing exposure, ISO, aperture, if you don't get at least the basics, then there's no point.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is that the iPhone is not capable of doing something it's not even an issue if it can't take good pictures. It comes to depth of field. The sensor's not big enough. It's not equipped. You can't do that with a thing that's that size. But we will have to see when we get our hands on one, and hopefully we will soon. November's going to be a busy ass month for us.
It is.
Oh,
there's
God.
So much.
So,
we're going to have the Xbox review, the PlayStation review, the iPhone 12 review.
And I am behind on 3
whichever
reviews
one is going to be.
In my log. I did finish up my script, my Note 10 script. So
that's good.
Even though it's way far behind, but I want to get it out there anyway, just because I was going to do it. And I still have to do Xbox One and iPhone 11. So yeah, anyway. But for some reason, and this is so strange, and I mentioned this before the break, I'm more excited about the HomePod Mini.
I am too.
Number one is Erin and I were sitting here as they announced it, and they were about to announce the price, and we were betting on, it was like a fun bet, on what the price would be. So she was saying, people online were saying $199. She was saying her guess was $149. I was saying, I heard people saying online it was going to be $199, but my guess was either going to be one of two prices: $129, which I highly doubted, but that was like my low end guess. My high end guess was like $179.99. When that thing dropped at $99.
It's crazy.
That is a good price point. It is more expensive than an Alexa, but if you can get, like, let's say half the sound quality that you can out of a standard HomePod, plus all the new stuff they're adding, plus all the existing stuff that it can already do,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
The idea now, and I don't know if you saw that, the intercom thing. Okay, so you get a bunch of those. This is great, right? I love this. So for anyone who didn't see it, you basically, just like Alexa has and all this other stuff, but it's Apple's version of it, they do an intercom thing. So basically, any Apple device can make a HomePod basically do walkie-talkie mode and just shoot out a message. So I can say to Erin, blah, blah, blah. And it will like find her and then say it to her, which is cool. But I immediately thought of Joey in this moment because I'm like, oh my God. When Joey's over here shooting the show and Kelly won't pick up the phone, he can literally, he doesn't even check the camera anymore. He could just find Kelly and tell her to pick up the phone. And I could just see like 90 little HomePod minis around his place, just like looking for Kelly, Kelly, pick up the phone.
That's funny.
All of them going off.
Yeah, all of them going off at once. I love that while they're going very slow with the HomePod stuff, and that is, come on, speed it up, guys. I do like that they're not ignoring it because their sales were abysmal. I think I just heard this week like their HomePod sales were like 5 million units since 2017, whereas like Alexa's in the 60 million.
Wow. I also heard something.
And that's not for an Apple product. That's not good.
No, that's because of price.
Yeah, it's the price, exactly.
I saw it recently and I tried to find more sources for it and I couldn't really find a whole lot about it. So don't take it as fact per se. But I heard something about Apple trying like a smaller HomePod in 2018 and it not doing well. So they canceled it. Really? I mean, I couldn't find a whole lot of sources. I tried to look it up, but I did see it on a few different websites.
Yeah.
But that's effectively all they really said was that it was tried in 2018.
Interesting.
I thought so too.
Yeah. I mean,
especially because the idea of a HomePod Mini now is so cool.
I think I know why. Because of all the, so it's funny when they I think it's just a theory.
Yeah.
Apple has been on this big privacy game lately, especially with all the antitrust stuff like we talked about last week and all this other stuff like that. Like they're trying to focus on privacy where Bezos is trying to steal your information and your wife. So Apple, I'm willing to bet, didn't fire it off in 2018 because at that time, the whole thing, if I remember this correctly, I could have my years wrong. I could be wrong, but I remember there was that whole weird thing like, is your Alexa listening to you? It randomly starts laughing, this, that, and the other thing. So the idea of them entering that space may have scared them. And they said, well, we don't want to get stereotyped with these products. Let's wait for that to go over. And then we'll do this. Yeah. I think it's a cool product. I love the fact that different shape. It's not just a smaller pill. It's a ball.
Yeah.
Joey, don't. We're not going down that path again.
Yeah.
There is balls are in right now because Alexa announced their ball, and now there's this ball. So, but okay. So as a Google person, and I really wanted Sam to be on this one. Sam said he was going to be on this one, but now he promised me he was going to be on the next one. So I'm going to ask him point blank.
Go ask yourself a question.
No,
because, I'm not good.
I'm going to ask you.
Cool.
No, because I want to ask him the same question.
Nope.
Screw you. I'm going to ask you the question anyway.
I'm not going to answer.
Okay, so as a Google user, as a Apple user, as a former Alexa user, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Like, I want the whole up and down on your thoughts about this HomePod Mini.
It's a ball.
Okay, that's one thought. It's just that simple. It's a ball. That's his honest opinion.
No, I my opinion on it. I would switch.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I would switch. I would take...
Why?
Because I like the encryption aspect of it. I feel like the encryption on that is more... Google's secure to a point. Mm-hmm. I'm not sitting here saying that Google is easy to break in or whatever the case is. But if Apple's shown anything throughout their history, is that their encryption is pretty much
the security's phenomenal.
Bulletproof.
Yeah.
It's pretty much unhackable.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's incredibly tough. But you can't say that.
They're very secure. They're not willing to give the government access to their security
it's incredibly
because
secure.
they care
But
about
notice
their
I said
people.
pretty much.
Yeah, I know you did. It's just it's the computer guy in me.
I said pretty much. So that means that there is a chance. Okay? Calm down there.
I literally flipped my wrist.
Echo, stop.
What?
So, so yeah, I do. Sorry, guys.
Get a marker ready. Okay, and we're back. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
And like Don was saying, if it has half of the capabilities as a full size for $99, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Now I played.
Yeah.
I have to say, I played the Google Nest Hub. I played the music for you, and I put it on full volume, which both of you were like, sorry.
No, we need another beep. Hey, that's your first one. We both used one.
Actually, it's my second.
He has 2 swears? Oh, right, because he said the website name.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have to beat me saying that, so I don't care. Let him know it's a website. They just won't know what. Let him try to find it. It's awful. Don't ever go there.
But you guys saw that, and you guys were both like, "Holy cow, this thing is!"
Yeah, it's
Holy cow!
it is incredibly loud.
Yeah, it was,
is.
and you were also surprised by the quality.
Yeah.
I think
Was I? I don't remember.
I think so.
I mean,
I don't
at
remember
least-
it either,
at least
but
I know
believe him.
Erin for a fact was.
I'm weird though when it comes to audio. You know that. I'm very, very.
No, but at the same time, when I
stringent,
played it for you, you were like, "Oh wow."
I do remember being impressed.
Yeah. So
if I'm, but I think I say this with all speakers. So I could be remembering wrong. This is just a typical case because things like Beats Audio and what have you, they blow up the highs and the lows, skip the mids, and the mids is where you get a lot of your good rich stuff that really makes you feel good about the music, not just check that out.
but you have to also remember with skipping things, that's how they can make it at a certain price point.
yeah.
Right. So
Beats though is a different thing. Beats is obviously aimed for you're supposed to hear a certain sound.
Yeah, their signature is very low end.
Yes, it's
heavy.
You got that bass, and you got the
Meghan Trainor.
Yeah, I mean you got the bass in the headphones.
About that bass.
And you still see to this day that your average artist, a lot of them use Beats, especially the.
Well, they get paid to use Beats though. Whenever somebody buys, I found this out only because I worked for that one company that's making phones, what have you. So it's interesting when you look at like the behind the curtain of developing electronics for consumers, like what you find. And there was a point in time, I don't know if this is still true, but there was a point in time where a majority of what you were paying for when you bought Beats wasn't the actual headphones. It was so you could watch Nicki Minaj promote it in her music video. It was marketing. And that ended up pissing a lot of people off.
But the thing is, I'm not going off of music videos.
No. But I'm saying is that when you see them, it's because they spend so much money on marketing. But the actual product that you get, most of what you're paying for is for that commercial.
Well, it's not just the commercial either. It's Dre.
Right, the other stuff as well. But what I'm saying is like the physical thing that you're buying isn't like as like
it's not as good as what it should be for that price.
Not for that price, exactly.
So
it does have heavy bass though.
But going back to this mini HomePod thing, and
mini HomePod thing.
Yeah,
I was like, what the hell is that? Yeah, that mini HomePod thing, whatever you call it.
Especially with me having my security system tied in with it, and Siri, at least it has gotten better.
Yeah.
Your HomePod must have went through an update because she can hear a whisper now.
Yeah, dude, it happened like overnight. We woke up and Erin and both of us were like, she's like really on it today. What the hell happened? The thing of it is the stupid things update on their own all the time. I don't know what they're doing. They're creepy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I would definitely switch. I know Sam's not here. But I will take a stab here and say Sam probably wouldn't.
No, he probably wouldn't. Even though, you know what though, the only reason he would, or at least joke about it, is to mess with Sammy. That'd be the only reason why, because the idea that he can just Siri, Apple Watch, whatever, at any point without having to think about it or open up an app, because that's what I like as a simplistic part. I can be sitting my desk, like I could be out and about.
Yeah.
I could be in my car. I don't need the app. Hands free. Siri, go. Tell Erin da. Right? It won't send a text. It'll like find her ass and say, "Hey, I'm at the store. Did you want the birthday cake ice cream or the vanilla bean with cafe ice cream?"
You should know the answer.
Of course I do. It's the vanilla bean. Or no, the birthday one. The birthday one. I corrected myself.
Yes, it's birthday.
Well,
And just the idea that, it's because then I don't like the idea of having to open up an app to perform a service. When it's automated, I love it.
yeah.
When I don't have to think about it.
And
That's just me.
And the other thing too is I have more Apple stuff than I do
Right.
anything else.
And
so,
Kelly does too.
Yeah, so it just makes sense for me to switch to that, which sucks at the same time because after spending some money on the Google stuff, it's
Yeah.
like, and then, but it is what it is. So,
I have a feeling those things are going to sell like
I already
crazy
know.
though.
Oh, I already
believe
know.
it. I believe it.
$99.
$99. That's better than the AirPods. That's better than
It's like an Alexa Spot or what
The Echo Dot. It's even cheaper than that because the Echo Dot was like $130.
And the Echo
that
Dot
thing is
sucks.
the stupid remotes for the Apple TV are $60.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing is gonna kill. People are gonna
Yeah.
eat those things up for Christmas. It's not even gonna be funny. And then now they're gonna then watch them if the sales are great. And let's say they pull out 15 million units by next summer. I totally see them doubling down on Siri and trying to get that stuff going. And trying to match what Amazon's doing. They just don't have a cost-effective reason to yet. But this might be their way to get there. That's just me.
Yeah. And I'm assuming it has the same, I don't know what you would call it, how the Series Now can be placed around your home and it sounds like one sound system as you walk around kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that the minis would also have that, right?
I don't think they have that capability because the standard HomePod has like a microphone array. So it has a series of microphones that go around it. And it's able to listen to how the sound sounds from all directions. So basically it bounces off the wall and it listens to how the sound it's aiming in this direction sounds when it comes back. So it's able to tune all the music coming out of it from 360 degrees. That's why, at least from my understanding, that's why it sounds that way, where it's like consistent. It's like when all your monitors are perfectly color calibrated.
Well, this
they all
one's
look the
supposed to
same.
have a 360 too.
Does it have a 360 microphone array?
Yeah, that's what they said in the thing. It's got 360.
I mean, if it does, then we're good to go. I wouldn't be surprised. It probably will. I mean, I don't know.
At least I could have swore that's what they said.
It has a microphone, but it doesn't have a series of microphones that go around the entire thing that can listen to it from all in 360 degrees. I don't think it does.
Okay.
Based on that design, I don't think it does, which is cool. I mean, it's got a little woofer there, and it's a cool looking piece. I'm really, really happy with.
I'm guessing you're
And,
going to get one even though you have the big ones.
I'm going to get one.
Of course you are.
I would get one for something like the bathroom or my desk.
Hey Siri, flush my toilet.
No, cancel.
It would be nice for the bedroom because we don't really have space for the big home pods and for the small ones because then
need
we
like
can
8
just
more.
we can lean over and whisper like, "Hey, set an alarm for
You need
5:45
8 more?
a.m."
Well, all you have to do is just in the HomePod, you can just set an alarm for yourself and have it go off every single day.
Yes, but the home pod's not even plugged up right now.
Okay, right now. Okay, so what she's talking
And I
about, we
can't-
just had the carpets
I can't
cleaned, so
tell
I had
you
to
how
move.
many times it's been over by your side of the bed, and for some reason she doesn't hear me, even
I'm
though
okay
I'm like
with
4
getting
feet away.
okay, we're getting very personal here, but I'm okay with getting additional HomePods. It's fine. I'm just saying to solve
Anyway,
the
I'm
problem.
moving on.
To solve the
Because this
problem, you
has
set
nothing
alarms
to
and other
do.
stuff in your phone. You can do that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
I still think it would be really, really cool to have a mini Siri by my bedside.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Having one on your desk, I totally see like at work being really cool as well. Just a kind of way to, because again, it'll only respond to your personal requests and only does that
Yeah.
when your phone's on the same Wi-Fi.
Oh. Do you know if Siris can be hooked up to your hotspot? Because I don't even know the Wi-Fi password to work.
Oh, right. You wouldn't be able to do it in that regard. I think they can, but you really wouldn't want to do that. And it probably would stop you if you're using an iPhone hotspot because it would know it's an iPhone, just like all the other Apple devices do. But I mean, the like I said, I love that Apple hasn't dropped off the HomePod stuff yet, and I do see, and I also love the idea like you're on Apple, I'm on Apple. It's like you have that with Alexa now, and I get that, but now it's like I can use my phone to send a message to your HomePod at your house if need be. And that would
Blocking
be
you.
That's fine, and you have that power. But it's like everyone says it's a copy, and effectively it is a copy. But the way that Apple
Everybody
executes
copies everybody nowadays.
exactly,
It
Family
doesn't
Guy was
matter.
copied from The Simpsons. Simpsons was copied from everybody. Copies from everybody. But the way that Apple executes stuff when they do stuff like this, it's like it always feels like more things were thought out. And in this regard,
Yeah.
I feel like they accomplished that,
Yeah.
especially
So-
for $99.
So with the HomePod Mini, being an audio thing, how do you feel that they did not end up releasing new over-the-ear AirPod Studio or Air,
Right.
whatever it was supposed to be called?
They didn't release HomePod or AirPod Studios. Wow, I totally, and they didn't. Okay, so they didn't do the glasses. So let's because I know you've talked about how we were to get the other stuff out of the way. So yeah, they didn't do promotion. They didn't do in-screen fingerprint. They didn't do Apple glasses, and yes, they didn't do HomePod AirPod Studio. I'm a little disappointed. I feel like now
Or
thinking
the
about,
tag.
or the AirTag. Yes,
Or the Apple TV.
Honestly, the AirTag thing, I could take it or leave it. The Apple TV, give them as much time as they need for the next Apple TV. The current Apple TVs are fine.
Yeah.
The AirPod Studios, though, I feel would have worked really well in conjunction with the HomePod, because then they could have shown cool different interactions. Like I could see a scenario where, let's say, you're walking home, you have your HomePods, your AirPods on your freaking everything's called pods. You walk in, and then right now you can take the music that's playing on your phone and you bring it up to a HomePod.
Yeah.
And it'll start playing.
Yeah.
But I would see a scenario where you're home, it knows you got home, you take them off, and it automatically starts playing the music.
That'd be cool.
I actually have priced.
You have a price for the HomePod, the AirPod? I'm not going to
Studio.
talk. AirPod Studios? Yeah. What is it?
For both of them. There's 2 different versions.
Really?
So according to this GSM Arena.
Can you send the article to Erin? Should get up on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
While we're sending that over, I have seen several things within the past few days that have said that the AirPod Studios and the Apple Silicon Max may be announced in November, because they've started taking down the competitors for the what are they called? Headphones? For the
over-the-ear headphones.
Yeah, for the headphones from other people. So they think that because they're taking down the competition, that it probably means that they're announcing it soon.
Okay. What the hell?
So what
Premium version?
Yeah, so there's going to be a premium version, which is going to cost $600. And then there's a
standard version.
More affordable model for $350.
Wow, $350 is what I was expecting the pro version, like the more elite version, to be. If I didn't know they were going to make 2 models, but I figured there's going to be $350. $600.
So it will lack a headphone jack.
Okay.
Instead, they will have a USB-C port.
Okay.
Of course.
But then you go USB-C to USB-C to your current iPhone. Oh no, USB-C to Lightning.
Yeah.
You'd have that cable now.
I don't know why they don't just make it USB-C.
The headphones will support active noise cancellation. They will be reversible.
Okay. These are.
I read that too.
Yeah, these are kind of.
The headphones will automatically figure out
not that kind of reversible. More like left can be right and right can be left.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, automatically figure out which cup is on the left and which is on the right.
My bad. Okay, that's really cool. I wonder how they're going to do that. Probably some kind of ear shape sensor.
And it even says down in the below that note the studio will not be shown at the October 13th event. And neither will the AirTags.
So who the hell are these guys? These guys are right on it then.
This was posted October 9th, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
What are AirTags?
So AirTags, you know that company called Tile where they had the commercial for a little while where the little girl lost her bear, like the stuffed bear's walking through the street, it's raining, it's super depressed, and then he dies in the gutter.
Sad.
And then the car pulls up and the dad comes out and grabs the girl's bear. It's like a tracking thing, basically. You can put it on anything, your wallet,
like
your
your
keys,
keys.
and then so Apple implemented this thing in the Find My app where every Apple device is able to recognize, it's kind of like a help, here I am kind of signal, where let's say someone stole your phone and they obviously, they'll put in airplane mode and all other stuff like that. But wherever they stole it, other devices that were there will get basically a ping, whether they're yours or not. It's not specifically tied to you in the sense of what goes through theirs. It's this weird like mesh network thing where they effectively, it's like, oh, it was at the Starbucks and you didn't notice it until, So now it's like you go to do Find My and now it's like an approximate last location. They turn it on, it'll do a bunch of other. So the Tile thing will work. The AirTags will work the exact same way using Find My. Instead, you just attach it to whatever you want.
That's cool.
I think it's cool. I think for wallets and keys,
And kids.
just stick it in their back pocket.
No.
Well,
I'm
they have
being
the
serious.
Apple Watches for that now.
Because if you,
The Apple Watch
here's
Kid.
the thing: if you get one, put it in the kid's back pocket. Make sure you tell them, hey, make sure you do not remove this, just in case someone grabs them.
Yeah. No, I mean that's
because everyone knows you got
That's
the
a really trustworthy kid.
Well, wait,
For them not to remove it.
I mean, you just have to go. I mean, some parents, you just have to make sure you tell them what this is for and why you can't remove it and this, that, and the other.
and not to lose it either, because
Right.
then suddenly it's like, wait, Timmy has been at the bus stop for like 6 hours now.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Well, why-
Timmy.
But most of these kids have cell phones.
Yeah.
So if the parents want to know, they call them anyways. Say,
Right.
Did you go to school? But
This would be great for your car. You could leave one in your car, and that'd be a great way. Like if you're in a big parking lot and you don't have, and like there's a bunch of ways these can be used, and I'm sure people are going to find really great ways to use them. But the fact that it's integrated into the Apple ecosystem, I think, is really cool. And you can keep one in your backpack. So like, let's say you bring your laptop, you're out and about, you leave your laptop somewhere. If you have a thing in there, your laptop's off or dead or whatever, that's a way to recover it. Like you can just keep thinking about different ways to use it. It's cool.
when is Apple's going to start making keys too for your house?
I think. Did you see when they were doing that? They were using their phone to do the badges in the.
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh, I so want that. Even though it's like so for businesses, I just
Yeah.
want the idea of just beep.
Yeah.
And then hi
He's like,
Dom.
someone is in the bathroom right now.
It
Would
would
you
be
like to
really-
request your turn?
It'd be really cool if apartment. Actually, that'd be a great way to stop. Also, help prevent COVID. Think about it.
Oh, touchless doors. Yeah.
Yeah, if apartments actually start doing, and I know that's a lot of money to invest in, but if apartments or even just your house or whatever the case is, you get this thing and you just beep beep. I mean, you do it right now, kind of.
Yeah, it's a digital key.
but you still have to stick it in. But this way, you can just beep.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think that's where the future is definitely going to get there. I think it's all going to pull.
The future is going to have us have things underneath here, and we just have to scan.
You just scan it up. Yeah.
That's the future.
Well, what would be cool too is technically speaking, with a tap thing like that, if it can't authenticate with Face ID, it can authenticate with Touch ID. And if the whole screen can read your fingerprint, just the act of holding the phone authenticates you. So when you tap the thing, it knows that it's you holding the phone.
I want it to burn my hand.
Okay,
I want it to make sure it gets warm in my hand, so this way my fingerprints, it's like a real activator.
Are you making like a Men in Black reference when Will Smith burned
Exactly.
his... Okay, that's where I figured he was going with that. How did I know that you were going?
But I don't want, because we live inside each other's heads, I don't want my fingerprints to come off.
So you just want all the other parts, but just...
Yeah.
I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Completely Circuit does not condone Joe and whatever burning his fingerprints off of any kind.
I want to take his face
Okay, that's John Travolta
off.
and Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Anyway,
That
okay,
was face off.
that was Face Off. You just talked about Face Offs. Never mind. Did we have any other stories, or are we going to get to the super awesome special thing?
It's not really that cool, guys.
Oh, it's super cool.
No, I guess not.
You're looking like you have another story for us. I'm seeing one on the screen here. First Apple Silicon Mac could debut on November 17th.
I think we talked about this.
Let's wait for that to happen because there's so many events happening back to back. It's kind of getting like I want to stay ahead of the rumor curve, but with just how many things keep happening over and over and over again.
I mean, there's also
This
I want
was
to work with more stuff that we.
Bloomberg is the one who said this is probably going to happen. And I think it came from something that Apple had said that they would introduce the first ARM Mac later this year.
Yeah.
And since it hasn't happened in the first two events, it's predicted that there's going to be another event
Maybe
of
they'll
which
do-
it is
I
going
said
to
this
happen.
last.
Yeah, he
last
did.
You
time.
did.
Yeah, you did mention
Yeah.
November
You said
event.
it several
Yeah.
podcasts ago.
I want to. I want to see the Apple glasses. That's like the next thing that now that they did HomePod Mini, I'm super happy about that. Cool, all's good in the universe. I want to see now the glasses. The ARM Max, I'm super excited for, but I'm not going to be excited for until like a year or two when everything has been fully migrated over to ARM.
I want to see Apple contact lenses.
Give it time.
That'd be nice.
Give Apple lenses instead of Apple glasses. They'd be called Apple lenses.
I don't know if I could afford those.
$3,000 each.
Per. Yeah. Damn it. You beat me to it. Okay.
No insurance.
So
Here you go.
Wait.
Here's the one you want.
Okay, so today, for all of you who stuck with us through this
Time to go to sleep.
crazy ass podcast that we try to do every week. Erin's starting to play it. So they announced the PlayStation 5 UI. They finally demoed it today.
During a state of play?
No. It was an impromptu state of play.
Okay.
It was just kind of like they
I
decided
had a very
to do
busy
it.
day at work today.
So pause it really quick though, because I have a working theory, and it just occurred to me today. The reason why they haven't shown off the UI, I can't believe I didn't think about this first, because they weren't done with it, and they just finally got finished to the point where they can do a demo of it. So the software engineers are probably they couldn't get it done. If you look at Microsoft's, the Xbox Series X, it's the same damn thing, more or less, as the current UI. There's differences for sure, but it's like the same thing. You'll see in a second how different this is, and they added some really, really, really cool stuff.
Whoa!
You can turn You can turn the volume up on this one, actually.
I got really excited.
With a great play and a passionate community of gamers. With a look and feel that's designed for 4K TVs, the PS5 user experience was built from the ground up to take advantage of the console capabilities.
Okay, no, we're not going to sit here and listen to this guy. Let's go ahead and mute that, and I'll walk you through it. So it starts off with this guy,
Transformative games.
and he is. So this is basically from rest state booted up into the login screen, just like the typical PS4. Eventually, he's going to push the button. I don't know. Can you do like a ×2 or something on the playback speed? Perfect. So the main UI here is similar-ish to the PlayStation 4, but there's some little nuance like details that are going on. The first one is that you see that the game is still going on in the background with the UI over the game. So that's part one.
I thought that was just their wallpaper.
No, that's the game. And you'll see in a minute. So it doesn't like remove the game from your view. It's basically like in the background. You'll see a bunch of like the super fast SSD stuff, but wait until you see some of the social integration stuff that they did. One of the things that they added is, let's say you're at a part in the game where you're like, oh, I don't know how to figure this out. So remember when you were playing Spyro, Erin, and you would go on YouTube and you would look for, you would go on. Are you chewing all that ice over here?
I didn't know you can hear me.
You can absolutely hear it. It sounds like
definitely hear
crunching glass. And
Sorry, everybody. I didn't know. I thought I was far enough away.
so they.
Yes, I remember. Because
Okay.
I'm an achievement hunter and I want every single Spyro
So they
thing.
integrated that into the UI first party, so you don't even have to go to YouTube, and it will give you a prediction of how long the game will think it's going to take you to do a particular section of the game based off your play style.
I thought they already made that update to the trophies
No.
and showing you
Let's
how
say
far you
wanna
are
kn-
to the trophy.
No. This is, let's say you want to do, it's nothing to do with trophies. This isn't trophy specific. This is, let's say, I don't know how to beat this boss.
Okay.
So it will give you a list of videos. You can watch the video. You see the secret how to beat the boss, and then the game will give you a prediction on how long it thinks it's going for you to take to beat the boss.
Interesting.
And then there's this voice chat stuff. So everything comes in. It's very mobile phone like. As you saw just there, you might have to rewind it just a teeny bit back to the party chat stuff, because I love the way they implemented this. Their focus was to not pull you away from the game. So you can see here, you're still in game. You get a voice party, right? A party chat, and you can just join it right there. So everything's like overlaid. You're never pulled away from the game like you are in current consoles. And I thought that was a really nice touch. And there's little touches like that all over the place. So this is the Sackboy Crazy Adventure.
He's super cute.
And yeah, so here's a screen share, and then it's like it's a lot of the stuff from PS4 still, but it's refined and it's streamlined. And see, he's never pulled away from the game, and it's super cool.
Interesting.
There's picture in picture. So now let's say,
And you can move it anywhere. Mm-hmm. So does that mean that you could watch somebody live stream while you play your own game?
it's picture in picture, which I believe Xbox has, but I could be wrong. I think I heard somebody say that Xbox has that picture in picture thing with screen sharing. And yeah, I mean, all that stuff is very.
I mean, you heard that Sony, they're letting PS5 owners record their voice chats and snitch on fellow players.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They put spoiler detection in here too. Actually, I know that's. I told. Sorry, your thing just reminded me of that.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
When you want to put a clip up, the thing can detect spoilers Like I guess the game devs put it in, and basically they can mark that clip as a spoiler. So like, you know, I watch a lot of anime and stuff, and so I watch a lot of YouTubers that show anime stuff, and like the manga is always ahead of the show. So sometimes I don't read the manga, sometimes I only watch the show, and I'm scrolling through YouTube, and then it's like, oh, chapter 962, this happens, and it's just like you just ruined like 3 seasons of, you know, it's just. So they put in this spoiler protection thing, which I thought was a really neat touch. It's one of those things where it's like you don't realize you like it until you have it, because like, oh, here's The Last of Us, you know, part 3, and here's how you beat the final boss. But the person included in there like a scene from before that has a twist or whatever, and it's like, oh, great, now that's spoiled for me. So it's able to apparently protect against things like that, which I don't know. I thought it was really cool. And I mean, look at the interface. It reminds me of a cell phone a little bit, which Sam would say, yeah, mobile games.
Yeah, you got that, and Xbox is reminding people that it's like a PC.
Effectively, yeah. Yeah. Did you get a look at? You're still watching, Erin?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think so far?
I can't tell. Like I partially like it and I partially don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, Burger King is giving away 1,000 PlayStation 5 game consoles.
All right,
Taco
so-
Bell is giving away a bunch of Xbox.
Oh, they're doing Xbox this
consoles.
time? I think.
They're always doing
Yeah,
Xbox.
they always do Xbox. Xbox and Call of Duty is Taco Bell's thing in Mountain Dew.
So the way you can
Let's go not get us some Taco Bell pizzas.
So the way you can do this is Burger King's teaming up with Sony, of course, to give away 1,000 of them. 5 consoles along with digital downloads for games. Customers can either make a $5 purchase before tax or enter through a mail-in form. The sweepstakes will be running until November. So there you go.
Oh, that was I missed that my first watch through. The going to sleep, the rest mode animation was pretty cool.
And this
It's-
starts on October 15th.
Yeah, look at. Wait, did you see that, Joey? How long that was pretty cool. I don't know why I like that. Watch out! All right. I kind of dig that. That was cool.
I did too.
You see the console, putting your console to sleep, and you can. It probably. I bet you the lighting from that little video they had in there matches the lighting of the console, like it does it
Yeah.
in sync, which would be
Yeah.
really neat.
It's like the UI for some reason is like too nice. And if that makes sense, like I feel like the reason I don't, and it's not that I don't like it, but the reason why I'm not immediately like, oh my God, this is like the greatest UI ever, is because it feels like some futuristic website design,
I could
which
see
is
that.
like nice in and of itself.
in and of itself.
And I also think that the UI is very attractive. It's very minimal. It's very round. Like,
Yeah.
it's very, hey,
And that's what's
this
in
is
right
what's
now.
going on.
Apparently round.
But for some reason,
Ball.
it just doesn't speak to me. So
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why that is, because I do find it very attractive, but it doesn't have that like pulling me in kind of thing. And I don't know if you experience anything similar to that.
Like
Maybe
I
it's just
do-
because it's so different than what I'm used to.
It is a little. It is different. And it was a lot less than I was. It was different from what I was expecting. The parts that
Yeah.
really excite me is just the focus and the overlays of the game itself.
Yeah.
Nothing's very little is ever trying to pull you away from what you're playing.
And that is really cool. It's very anti what Xbox One was, being
Yeah.
the whole like family entertainment, one system for your TV, everything
Right.
like that.
So you had
this
all
is
these things
very
that could-
like this is a gaming console, very
Right.
game focused.
It's extreme, and they're taking advantage of the SSD. That's probably one of the reasons they're able to do what they're able to do. I'm sure the horsepower, just in general, gives them the ability to do that kind of stuff. But you don't see that.
Oh
on,
yeah.
on the Xbox. I just that was amazing that popped out today. I was like, holy crap! This just came out of nowhere. Like it just came out of left field, and
Yeah.
no, I'm glad. Hopefully you guys will get like a full proper watch through, and it's like 10 minutes long, so that's why I don't want to sit here and just listen to these guys talking
yeah.
throughout the whole thing. But it's definitely worth giving a
Yeah.
listen to.
And you've been waiting for a long time to see some UI.
Yeah. And I'm willing to bet that the reason is because they just didn't finish it. And thinking about it, the reason that Sony was probably delayed on so many things is because they just weren't done. And Microsoft basically, they built the hardware. And sure, Sony had the hardware, but you need the software part. Microsoft just builds it
Yeah.
off Windows. It's just Windows.
Well, didn't we see the Xbox UI kind of, and it looks almost exactly the same?
Right, but the point is that the kernel, the kernel and other parts of the Xbox operating system are just Windows.
Yeah, so they didn't really have to do anything.
Sony has to build it basically. I'm sure they probably built it from some iteration of PlayStation 4, but it's based off of a Unix kernel, which is a whole custom thing. So they could. My point is that because they make Windows and it's built with Windows, it's just a modified version of the thing that they make.
Yeah.
They're extra. Whereas Unix, and you kind of connect the dots there. You're saying in the way that makes it seem like I don't know. That was weird. It doesn't matter. Okay, and she's raising her eyebrows at me like I'm a crazy person. But that's about all I got.
I think that's all I had to cover too.
Yeah.
Joey, did you have anything else?
Do you have any thoughts on the UI?
Yeah, what were your thoughts on the UI, Joey?
Okay, so Joey's
very noisy.
Joey's mouth is filled with ice and water, and that's what he's been doing this whole time.
Yeah, I mean the UI is pretty cool. Obviously the multitasking is awesome. Yeah, I think it's definitely different. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Well, it'll be super excited. I think we're only 2-3 weeks away. Yeah, or no,
way too close.
We're like 3.5 weeks away, I believe. All right, well, yeah, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week we will be probably going back to more traditional tech news because I don't think there's any major events happening. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to subscribe. If you're on YouTube, please be sure to follow us on Spotify or subscribe to us on the iTunes podcast version, whatever you're listening to on. If you can, throw us a like or review, any of that stuff, and it's greatly appreciated. Helps us out a lot. And as always, talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.
Have a good day.